What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today is Throwback Thursday, and we are going to take a look at a card from well before Standard and see what would happen if it did enter Standard. And today it is going to be Diamond and Pearl Era's Majestic Dawn's Flareon. It has a weakness that is not doubling up, which is kind of nice. 2 energy retreat, which is a little iffy, but yeah, what are you going to do? We're not planning to retreat this guy anyway. 90 HP. And a Fire Fang attack that might inflict burn. Which when was the last time you saw a card printed that actually inflicted burn? Think about it, it's been quite a while. But most importantly, for 1 fire energy and 2 colorless, it can kindle, which says that you have to discard an energy attached to Flareon, and that can be any energy, but in our case, it's definitely going to be burning energy, so it'll just come right back to us, obviously. And then it discards an energy attached to the defending Pokemon. Since we can use burning energy here, this is basically just a 70 damage attack that also guarantees the removal of an energy from our opponent. All from an Eevee evolution, so that we can definitely exploit our energy evolution Eevees. Spoiler on that. It's just one more way to get to it. And most importantly, this is just a stage 1, so it's pretty easy to get to. And 2 colorless and a fire is easy to set up with Blacksmith, double colorless energy, etc., plus any one other energy pretty much. Well, it's going to have to be a fire if you're using DCE, obviously. But pretty cool. We're running 4 of that because it is our theme card after all. And that is our aim, is to energy starve our opponents. We're running 4 energy evolution Eevee just because really, I mean, that's kind of the way to go, so that we can search out our Flareons if we really need to, in case we prize a couple. That way we can still get our Flareons pretty consistently onto the board. And finally, we are going to run 1 Jolteon, 1 electric effect one, just because that can help us do a lot more damage. It can help us one-shot Shamans, which can be nice for picking up prizes, obviously. And we can scare away things that are lightning vulnerable, like Yveltal EX, for example. So, pretty nice there. Now I'm thinking, okay, but maybe we need something else that can benefit from double colorless energy, from Blacksmith, that likes fire energies, can actually use the burning energy, so it's got to be a fire type. Would help if it was really bulky, just in case we need something with a little more 90 HP, obviously. Somebody who could do some heavy lifting. And I thought to myself, you know what would be nice? Let's splash in a couple of Charizard EXs. Between his Wing Attack and his Combustion Blast, that's going to 2-hit KO pretty much anything, so the fact that Combustion Blast can't shoot 2 turns in a row really doesn't hurt us that much, honestly. And this guy, between a Blacksmith and DCE, can easily power up in a single turn. So that's pretty cool, and he's just a nice kind of late game finisher if we need such a thing. But I was also thinking, you know, we might be going a little slower here, and if our opponents are like heavy recovery or something weird like that, well, what are we going to do? Okay, since we're going to be removing energy every turn, that's kind of the goal of our deck, why don't we just go full on, and of course we're going to need somebody compatible with burning energy, and I thought, you know what, let's go full on Dirtbag here, and let's run a couple of Houndoom EXs, so that we have a secondary win condition in the form of milling our opponent's deck out with Melting Horn. But we can also use Grand Flame to power up something like, say, Charizard EX on our bench. So that's a pretty nice alternate Pokemon. He can be a great starting Pokemon if we need to as well. So that's pretty awesome, and our only other Pokemon here is going to be Shaman EX, just once again for card draw and setup. I mean, it's, you know, it's Shaman. That's really all you need to say, but it likes DCE so that you can Sky Return, so not too bad there, not too bad. We're running 4 Professor Sycamore. We can ditch supporters this way, and it draws super heavily, and we can ditch energies for Blacksmith, just blah, blah, blah. We're going to run 1 copy of N, another card draw card. A pretty nice one. It's a Versus Seeker target in this case, though. That's really all we're using it for. We're going to run 2 Blacksmiths. It's not our optimal way to get energy on things, but it's definitely an attractive option for us, something we need to consider, something we want to do. So 2 Blacksmiths, that should be enough. We're running 1 copy of Teammates for all the obvious reasons. Our Flareons can't last long, so that can be a great way to capitalize on it, kind of maintain our momentum, take advantage of searching out things like Lysanders for following turns, etc., etc. Speaking of which, we also run 2 Lysanders, because definitely manipulating our opponent's bench, picking up something that's trying to stack up energy on the bench to be safe from Flareon. We can Lysander it in, put some significant damage on it, pick off an energy, make our opponents second guess themselves. Also, of course, picking up knockouts, things like that there, like picking off Shamans thanks to Jolteon, for example. We're also going to run 1 Team Flare Grunt as a way to kind of keep ahead of our energy removal curve. It's a nice Versus Seeker target as well. We've got 1 AZ in case something gets put into the active slot that we really don't like, and this can also pick up Houndoom EX. I can pick up Shaman, things like that there. It's just a really good utility supporter, so we are going to run that. Now, as far as items go, we're going to run the obligatory 4 Ultra Balls because it's got the maximum versatility of Pokemon searching and can ditch things to our discard pile and plays well with Shaman. And I don't know if I need to keep saying that, but I'm going to in case you're new. And we've got 4 Versus Seekers for all the obvious reasons. We've got 2 Battle Compressors because we don't like absolutely have to, because we're not running, it's not like we're running like 4 Blacksmiths and a bunch of basic fire energies. It's just kind of a minor sub-theme, and this is more for utility of your supporters, but you do have the option then to ditch the fire energies for Blacksmith if you need to / want to. We're running 3 Trainer's Mail because that's what we've got room for, frankly, instead of 4. Just a nice way to maintain that consistency. And we're also running Headringers to make sure that Flareon can really put the screws on your opponent's EX Pokemon. Not every deck's going to be running them, or at least running them as attackers, so we're only running the 2 because we don't want those to stack up in our hands because those can be dead weight in certain matchups, to be sure. And we're running 3 Hard Charm. Now, obviously, we can't run Fighting Fury Belt because Flareon is an evolution, but this can put Flareon conveniently out of knockout range, especially for some decks that deal smaller amounts of damage. And this can also still serve Charizard EX and Houndoom EX pretty well in terms of being able to dodge hits, and even in a pinch, maybe bail Shaman from being picked off too easily. So it's just a nice tool for us, and we don't really super need it, so if things go a little pear-shaped and your opponent's like Zerosicking them really heavily, you don't really care. It's just a nice utility item, basically, that's good to have. We're running 1 Super Rod just because we might just need to recycle those energies and might need to recycle those Mons. Just a little bit of versatility here. It's not probably going to be super necessary for us, but it might just be, so we are running the 1. And we've also got 1 Switch. This can be a very important teammate's target, and that's why it's included. If you have to put something up but you're not quite sure what the plan's going to be for the rest of the turn, you can easily, teammates, get the Switch and, say, get like the double colorless energy or whatever it is you need to make sure that you can do what you need to do this turn. So it's a nice one of just in case, especially with Flareon's 2 energy retreat. That way you don't have to make painful sacrifices if you don't absolutely have to. And that brings us to our energy curve, which is pretty straightforward. We're running 4 burning energy because obviously Flareon can use this as its energy to discard for its Kindle attack, and it'll just come right back on, which is pretty amazing. And then we're going to run our 4 double colorless energies because obviously pretty much everything in the deck except Houndoom EX profits from that card quite a bit. And we're going to run 5 fire energies just to make sure we can hit fire because obviously we need that for pretty much all our attackers. And Blacksmith likes it, yada, yada, yada. And that is the deck. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check me out on Twitter. Link is below as always. And I will see you next time.